chapter 6. A number of verses from verse 30 through 56. And it kind of gives a sense of, in the Gospel of Mark, the ways that Jesus' healing ministry is just sort of erupting in the countryside. Everywhere he goes, people are being healed and seeking him out, and something new is happening that people haven't seen before. The reading goes like this. The apostles gathered around Jesus and told him all that they had done and taught. And Jesus said to them, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest for a while." And they went away in the boat to a deserted place by themselves. But as he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. When they had crossed over, they came to land at Gennesaret and moored the boat. And when they got out of the boat, people at once recognized him and rushed about that whole region and began to bring the sick en masse to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, into villages or cities or farms, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that they might touch even the fringe of his cloak. And all who touched it were healed. Here end the readings for today. May the church hear what the Spirit is saying today. Unless God builds the house, it says in Psalm 127, those who build it labor in vain. Sisters and brothers, where does God live? On the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, or the Kaaba in Mecca? Maybe it's the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., or right here at Church of the Savior in our hometown. Where is Spirit located? Does the Holy have a zip code? Does God respect borders, or is Spirit outside the law, wandering across open country, undocumented? Is God only found inside the Bible? If so, which translation does God speak? Ancient Hebrew? Greek? Apparently the British Crown owns the copyright to the King James Bible, so maybe God speaks the King's English. On the other hand, you can find the King James Version in any hotel room in America, so is God a frequent flyer? Whose side is God on anyway? Is God proud to be an American? Christian, Muslim, or Jew? Is God Catholic or Caucasian, Baptist or Black, UCC or LGBT? These are simplistic questions, I know. Primitive questions in a way. Yet we have this tendency to want to claim God for our own, to capture the holy and contain the Spirit like it's some powerful artifact in an Indiana Jones movie or something. On a certain level, we know that's ridiculous, but we still do it both consciously and unconsciously. We build temples, cathedrals, and churches to honor God, we say, to worship God, only to have them serve as boxes to keep God in. We construct historical and theological narratives to lay claim to God as our own, as if we can copyright God, own God, or keep God from others. In God we trust, it says, on all the money in which we actually trust. We conflate the power of God with the power of nations and armies. After all, God is on our side. If God is on our side, God will do anything for us. The only problem is that the other side thinks that too. So either we're confused or God is. Deep down, we know this is not how God works or who God is. Deep down, we know that people have justified all kinds of injustice, evil, and violence in God's name under the cover of religious piety or patriotism or morality. Yet we seem to need to be sure that God lives here with me. God is located here with us. God is on our side. King David wanted to build a great temple for God, his God, and that was the problem. God had blessed him beyond all that David could imagine, so he began to imagine that God was his and not the other way around. David, you remember, began as an unknown shepherd boy, the youngest and smallest of the sons of Jesse. He went on to become a great warrior, the commander of the army, and finally the greatest king in the history of ancient Israel. But somewhere along the way, David lost track of who belonged to whom when it came to God.